A man who said he would rather shave his head than play for Real Madrid just signed a 6-year contract at the Bernabéu. And while Cucurella is walking in the front door, a whole squad of players are being pushed out the back. Mourinho has not even had his first training session, and the exits have already begun. Welcome back to Robert's Football Talk. I'm your host, and if you are new here, hit subscribe right now because today we are breaking down the most dramatic squad overhaul in Real Madrid's recent history. Cucurella is confirmed, the exit list is growing, and some of the names being shown the door will genuinely shock you. Let's get into it. Let's start with the signing that nobody saw coming. And I mean nobody. Earlier this year, Marc Cucurella was asked a simple question in an interview. Would he ever play for Real Madrid? His answer became one of the most talked about quotes in Spanish football. He said he would rather shave off his famous curls than pull on a Real Madrid shirt. He is a La Masia graduate, a former Barcelona player. The rivalry with Real Madrid runs deep in his blood, and he made that very clear. Fast forward a few months and Cucurella has just signed a 6-year deal at Real Madrid. 6 years, until 2032. For a fee of $47.5 million with add-ons that could take the total to $51.8 million. The curls are staying, but the Barcelona loyalty? Gone. Real Madrid officially confirmed the transfer with an announcement on their website, stating that Real Madrid and Chelsea have reached an agreement for the transfer of Marc Cucurella, who will be linked to the club for the next 6 seasons until June 30, 2032. And here's the thing, this was not a panic signing. This was not a desperate move. Cucurella was a priority target specifically requested by José Mourinho. Multiple clubs were chasing him. Barcelona wanted him back. Atletico Madrid were interested. Manchester City were in the race. And Cucurella chose Real Madrid above all of them. The same Real Madrid he joked he would never join. Football does that. It humbles you, and then it surprises you. So why did Mourinho specifically want Cucurella? Because the left-back position at Real Madrid has been a disaster for over a year. Ferland Mendy has been destroyed by injuries. Fran Garcia has struggled against top European opposition. And Mourinho, a manager who demands absolute defensive organization and reliability, needed a left-back he could trust completely. Cucurella, at 27 years old, just entering the peak years of his career, gives Mourinho exactly that. He is experienced. He is tough defensively. He has played in huge games for Chelsea and Spain. He is not a gamble. He is a proven Premier League-level defender at the peak of his powers. And he fought off competition from Barcelona and Manchester City to get here. That tells you everything about how badly Cucurella wanted this move. Now, before we get into the exit list, I want to ask you something. Cucurella said he would never join Real Madrid and then signed a 6-year deal. Do you think he will become a key player at the Bernabéu, or will he regret choosing Madrid over Barcelona? Drop your answer in the comments. The Roberts Football Talk community always has the best takes on these stories. Because while Cucurella is walking in, a long list of players are walking out. And some of these names will genuinely shock you. Let's go through the exits one by one. First up, Ferland Mendy. This one is painful because Mendy was once called the best defensive left-back in the world by Carlo Ancelotti. At his peak, he was unplayable. But the key words there are at his peak, because Mendy has been falling apart physically for 2 years. He is currently recovering from a serious muscle tendon injury in his right leg that will rule him out for the start of preseason. Real Madrid have now officially transfer listed him. Reports indicate the club is even considering terminating his contract depending on the contractual situation. A player who helped Real Madrid win 2 Champions League titles is being let go because his body simply cannot hold up anymore. That is the ruthless reality of elite football. With Cucurella now signed, Carrera's already at the club, and Camavinga capable of covering at left back in emergencies, Mendy is simply surplus to requirements. His time at the Bernabéu is over. Next, Fran Garcia. Fran Garcia has a contract until 2027, but he has completely lost his position in the squad. Álvaro Carreras was brought in from Benfica last summer specifically to replace him and has done exactly that. Reports from Betis confirm they are interested in signing Garcia on a permanent basis, and Real Madrid consider him completely expendable. With Cucurella arriving and Carreras already established, there is simply no room for a third left back who is not good enough to be first choice. Garcia's gone. Subscribe to Robert's Football Talk right now because we are halfway through this exit list and the biggest names are still to come. Eduardo Camavinga. This is the one that hurts the most if you are a Real Madrid supporter. Camavinga arrived with enormous potential. A teenage French international who was going to be the future of this club's midfield for a decade. He made 43 appearances in all competitions this season, but he never fulfilled that early promise. He was left out of France's World Cup squad. His red card in the Champions League quarterfinal against Bayern Munich may have been the final straw. Mourinho has been told by his scouts that Camavinga does not fit his style of play, and the decision has been made to sell. Liverpool and Manchester United are both reportedly monitoring the situation. Premier League clubs will be circling this one very quickly. Dani Ceballos. Ceballos is in the final year of his contract and Real Madrid will not renew it. The midfielder has been a peripheral figure for years, and Mourinho has no place for him in his project. This one will be the easiest exit to complete. Multiple clubs in Spain and across Europe will be interested in a player with his experience available on a free or low fee. Brahim Diaz. This is the shocking one. Less than a year ago, Brahim Diaz signed a new contract at Real Madrid. The club backed him publicly. They invested in him. And now, according to Cadena SER, Mourinho has informed the club that Brahim is not part of his plans for next season. He is on the list, despite the new deal. Despite the goals this season, Mourinho has looked at his squad and decided Brahim does not fit his system, and the player will be allowed to leave if a suitable offer arrives. Gonzalo Garcia. The young Spanish striker has shown flashes of quality, but Mourinho has decided he will not get the game time he needs at Real Madrid next season. An exit is being arranged to give him the opportunity to develop elsewhere. Franco Mastantuono. Real Madrid paid 45 million euros to bring Mastantuono from River Plate in 2025. He barely featured this season. But the club still believes in his potential. Rather than selling him permanently, he will go out on loan to get regular first-team football and develop into the player they expected when they signed him. Think of it like Endrick, who will now return and is expected to have a proper role under Mourinho next season. Andriy Lunin. The goalkeeper who stepped up brilliantly when called upon is being moved on to make room for young, homegrown talent Javi Navarro, who shone in the youth league this season and is being promoted into the first-team picture. Lunin did everything asked of him, but the club's long-term goalkeeping plan does not include him. And then there is the complicated case of Raúl Asensio. Asensio had confrontations with Arbeloa over game time this season and made his frustrations very public. With Mourinho now setting the tone that he will not tolerate players who challenge the manager's authority, Asensio's future at the club looks extremely uncertain. Now let me ask you something. Mourinho is clearing out almost half the squad before he has even arrived properly. Do you think this is exactly what Real Madrid needed, or is he going too far too fast? Tell me in the comments. I genuinely want to know what you think. So where does all of this leave Real Madrid heading into the new season? Out goes Mendy, out goes Fran Garcia, out goes Camavinga, out goes Ceballos, out goes Brahim, out goes Gonzalo Garcia, out goes Mastantuono on loan, out goes Lunin. Add to that the already confirmed permanent departures of David Alaba and Dani Carvajal. That is a complete transformation of this squad. And Cucurella is just the first piece of the rebuild coming through the door. Reports indicate that Mourinho has requested 4 to 6 additional signings with a focus on midfield and defense. Ibrahima Konate has already been confirmed as a target. Nico Paz returns from loan. Denzel Dumfries and a new midfielder are also on the list. Jorge Mendes, Mourinho's agent and one of football's most powerful figures, was recently seen dining at the same restaurant as Mourinho. Real Madrid's head scout Juni Calafat and general manager Jose Angel Sanchez. They were discussing the shape of next season's squad. That dinner tells you the scale of ambition behind this rebuild. Mourinho came back to Real Madrid with one condition above all others. He would have total control over his squad. No interference, no player politics, no one calling shots they should not be calling. And from day one, he has moved exactly as promised. The players who fit his vision stay. The ones who don't are gone regardless of their contract situation, their reputation, or what any previous manager thought of them. Cucurella chose Madrid over Barcelona and Manchester City. That is a statement. A proven left-back at 27 choosing to come to the Bernabéu specifically because of the project Mourinho is building. That is the kind of signing that tells the rest of Europe, Real Madrid are back. They are serious. And they are not interested in sentiment. The old Real Madrid, the one that tolerated dressing room politics, that allowed players to influence selection, that went 2 seasons without a trophy while the squad ate itself from the inside. That version is being demolished piece by piece. The new one starts now. Subscribe to Robert's Football Talk if you are not already part of this channel. Share this video with any football fan who needs to understand what is happening at Real Madrid this summer, because this story is massive and we are still only at the beginning of it. So here is your final question. When you look at the exits and the arrivals, when you look at Cucurella coming in and Camavinga, Brahim, Mendy and the rest going out, is Mourinho building a team that can win La Liga and the Champions League next season? Or is this rebuild too aggressive too fast? Drop your prediction in the comments. I read every single one. This has been Robert's Football Talk. Hit that like button, share this with every football fan you know, and subscribe if you are not already here. New videos every week and Real Madrid summer is only just getting started. I will see you in the next one.